everybody. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. Well, it's an interesting weekend, isn't it? So today I have a couple things that I really want to talk to you about. First of all, we're coming into a very interesting time collectively. And for that, we're really going to need to prepare in a way that's really powerful, emotionally, physically, mentally, in every way. We're coming into a time of major transition and major change. So collectively, we really need to create a very strong foundation internally that will help us move through the times that are ahead. And one of the most important ways of moving through the things that we're going to be experiencing here together in this world is having a very clear understanding of what is our current reality, what we're capable of creating, what we're capable of shifting, changing, what we are in control of. And that's important because it allows us to design our every next day. Let's just hold on. Give me just one moment, please. Let me just... Someone is being really nice and calling me right now, but I cannot speak to them, so sorry about that. It cut my broadcast. All right, so anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. So what we're going to need is we're really going to need a strong foundation, and for that, learning and training the body and the mind to really be fully in control of ourselves is really going to be important, okay? How do we do that? There's many different ways, but one of the most important ways of doing this is by really training ourselves to come into the present moment, okay? And so something that we need to help ourselves with in coming into the present moment is becoming aware of all the things that block us from coming into the present moment. What are those things that make the present so difficult? Okay. And there's a couple things that this morning really was telling me that this is the topic we need to talk about now in preparation for the things that are occurring. And obviously, when we're in the present moment, we can connect with our intuition, with our discernment, with our ability to know what's real, and more importantly, to know how to control the present moment, which is only what we feel and what is here right now available to us. So please remember, that's going to be one of the most essential things that we need to remember as we're moving forward now into this new world. And really, everything that we've been preparing for the past however many years, spiritually, emotionally, this is the time to apply that wisdom. And I've spoke about that earlier in other videos, but this is the moment to apply it. There's no question about that. So if you're just still hearing and maybe you're up here thinking about possible ideas of how to do this spiritual work, we really need to start implementing those things. And there is sometimes a disconnect between what we hear and we're taught and what we're actually embodying. So we need to embody that wisdom, and that means applying it. It means taking note of our emotions, of our thoughts every moment of your day so you can become really clear about what you're creating. Yesterday I did a video on creation, embodying that creative life force. It's important that you become clear about how you're creating, because it's the subconscious mind, the subconscious programs that are really projecting into reality all the things that we're experiencing. And if we're not clear about that, we're going to be confused as to why we're experiencing difficult moments, stressing moments, problems, chaotic moments, and our emotions are completely out of balance. So what's the next step for that? The next step for that is to train ourselves to be in the present moment, okay? And so one of the things that really cause a lack of presence in us and make it difficult to be in the present moment are the following. I made a list of these things as I'm working through this understanding of deep connection with the self. One of those things is denial, okay? If it's hard for us to be truthful about our current state of emotion, a current state of what's happening around us, in our family, friends, the things that trigger us, if we're in a constant state of denial, we're not going to want to be in the present moment, and it's going to be very hard to be real and honest with ourselves and our emotions. a lot of times we know the triggers that cause effect in us, and we know that other people around us sometimes trigger things in us, but we're in denial of that, and we are so we're so disconnected from the body and not in a state of awareness that we're in a constant state of cause and effect and reaction. So instead of being a creator, you're in a state of reaction. And so a lot of times that comes from a denial of really understanding your own emotions and what you're really feeling in that moment. You just automatically go to the auto correct or auto kind of behavior that is stored within the subconscious mind. And all of that, you need to recognize that all of that automatic response that you're used to is based on programs. And so the question is, as you're coming into clarity and understanding of yourself, as you're becoming a more conscious and aware person, is, do I want to continue those patterns that didn't quite serve me in the past? Or do I want to kind of shift and change the way that I'm interacting with myself and others in a way that's more constructive and aware? Okay, so that's one of the things. Another things that will take you out of the present moment is drugs. So if you're doing drugs or anything that is anything that alters your state of mind or the nervous system in the body, is really going to pull you away from the present moment. Okay, and that can be anything that alters, like caffeine, alcohol, any kind of drugs. I mean, even weed. Those things are things that take you away from the present moment. I'm not talking about people that require them for medical purposes. This isn't a talk about that. We're not addressing that. But I'm talking about recreational drugs or things that pull you away from the present moment, that really are not allowing you to experience this moment fully in its richness, are going to really stand in the way of you connecting with your true emotions. And so what's going to happen, that if we go into a crisis and you don't have this kind of, what is it called, like this crutch, this emotional crutch to escape the present moment, it's going to be really hard for you to cope with the things that are happening. So if you are codependent of something that's not allowing you to cope with the present moment in clarity, that's really something that, I invite you to kind of really reconsider and see if maybe you can try to pull away and see if you can connect with yourself more as best as possible. And anything that numbs or suppresses your ability to really connect with your true emotions and your true understanding of yourself and the experiences that are happening around you, this is going to be a very essential time to start working on unpacking those things. Okay, so I know that sometimes it can be a little scary for people, but please support yourself in coming into a true expression. It's extremely needed right now. Next, escaping from reality, whether it's watching TV, whether even reading a book, or even disconnecting, listening to music, anything that is constantly moving you away from the present moment, playing games, taking your mind off what's happening in the moment. This is a wonderful time that we are not, having, a lot of us are staying home, we're not working, or are not constantly running like we were. We're kind of staying home to take a moment to reconnect with ourselves, the part that doesn't want to stay still, okay, the part that doesn't want to be in the present moment. A lot of us really don't realize how heavily we try to escape the present moment, and it can be through any number of things. So this invitation is really to identify, how am I escaping from my emotions, from my truths, from the things that I don't want to look at, acknowledge, whether it's problems happening in family, relationships, work, and even yourself, your own personal self, problems and aspects of yourself that you don't want to address. What parts of you are wanting to escape right now and check out? Okay, so that's really important. The next is emotions, of course. This segues into the next one, which is emotions. So when are we constantly feeling emotions in order to not address our true emotions? Are we holding on to anger? Okay, so are we lashing out in anger instead of really connecting with the part of us that's maybe hurt or damaged, or feeling that it's not being nurtured enough? Are we acting out on these, what I call is emotions, secondary emotions, and suppressing primary emotions that are really the root of what's causing this kind of discord in our relationships. Okay, so take a look at that. Are we using emotions as segues to avoid people, avoid confrontation, avoid even intimacy? Okay, so take a look at that. How are we disconnecting from those emotions in a very negative way? And that all of that will really make the present moment difficult to be in, because you might think that you're doing a great job, not addressing those things and maybe keeping yourself busy, and you think that you're present because, let's see, you're aware of what you're eating or you're aware of what you're reading. But in reality, presence goes a lot deeper than that. It's what's running in the subconscious mind. And so what we want to do is we want to unpack all of those programs that really hinder our ability to come into the true expression. That's what's needed now more than ever. And that will be the strongest foundation for anything that's coming up in our world. The next is fear and anger. So anytime that we are in a state of fear, we are incapable of coming into the present moment, because the present moment is scary. For example, the things that are happening in the world around us right now are causing a conflict in our belief systems. Some of us feel unsure about the future and how things are going to be, whether it's impacts financially, in your health, in your well-being. So that fear, constant state of fear, means that you are applying certain belief systems and thoughts that are, being introduced into your reality. So take a look at whether you want to acknowledge and apply the things that are being told to you as reality, or are you wanting to take control of your current moment, being present with what's here right now? Okay, because a lot of the fear that we experience in our body is based in the past and it's based in the future. So how can you bring yourself back into the present moment from predicting or trying to think about the future or thinking about the past? It's one of the most powerful ways of coming into presence and healing the body and being completely empowered is by coming into the present moment. And if you're constantly listening to things that are causing you to fear things that are not happening here right now, or that not occurring right now, then that's a way for you to really disconnect from yourself and also take yourself in a state of victimism and disempower yourself from the present moment. And this is also going to affect your immune system. Some of you that were a part of my workshop a couple weeks ago or a week ago about the immune system, intuition, and I talked a lot about that. When we're not in the present moment, when we're not connected to the physical body, we are hijacked by many different things, whether it's systems of networks of information, whether it's this overlay of artificial intelligence that we're being connected to through technology, or hijacked from our connection to our higher self. So we really need to begin to work and reconnect with the physical body so that we can access the true core expression of yourself. And that's very important right now. And the only way you're going to do that is by coming into the present moment, okay? So not used to it. How many of you are not used to being in the present moment? And the present moment can also be a very foreign experience for us because we're used to externalizing our attention, okay? We live in an ADHD time right now. This is the era of completely not being in the present moment because of so many things that are training the brain to not want to be here, whether it's manipulation of emotions, which is happening tremendously right now. It's the manipulation of our mind, of emotions, and there is a hijack of our belief in being well right now. Okay, so we need to take back that power and really connect with the body and see how we can bring ourselves into wellness. Why? Because the mind is the master of the body, and the mind can bring the body into wellness by being present and connecting and healing ourselves and aligning ourselves with our source, which is that channel of infinite consciousness that runs through the body and is the body. So we need to begin to recall and remember that that's what we are. That's part of the blueprint, and connect with that for wellness. Okay, so another one is, as I was mentioning, being in the past or being in the future. We talked about that. Another thing is being afraid of intimacy. Okay, and I see this a lot with clients sometimes that, we don't want to be in the present moment, because in the present moment would mean that we have to really sit with ourselves, really connect with ourselves. And it becomes a challenge when we are now cooped up in our houses with our partners, our friends, our families, or roommates, whatever it is. We're in the house and we're really having to be intimate with our connections with one another. And that can be very uncomfortable for some of us that are not used to having that eye-to-eye connection, that stillness when connecting with another soul or energy. Also, as empaths, it's difficult for us because we are, not used to being aware of our environment. And so, being present with the environment is different than absorbing like a sponge all of the things that are around you. So this is an opportunity for you to begin to understand how to create healthy boundaries, both energetic, emotional, and with yourself, okay? What are you interacting with? The energy that's being exchanged? Are you giving more than you're receiving? And is that causing a lot of a stress for you? Okay, so all of that awareness really has to comes into play when you're in the present moment. So how can you be aware of yourself and the intimacy that's being shared in that moment and be able to hold your space powerfully? A lot of us were not taught how to hold our space. We hold our space when we're present, we're fully aware, fully authentic of ourselves and our environment, and we're ready to own who we are without any shame, without any guilt, without any fear, without any anxiety. Just sit with who we are. And meditation is a great tool to do that. We're going to be working that in just a moment. Okay. Finally, being seen, right? So that as a result of the intimacy, being seen for who we are. Again, that goes on the topic of shame and guilt. Do we feel shameful for who we are? Are we disconnected with our true core essence? Do we even feel that we don't know who we are? Okay, so really connecting with the aspect of ourself that's the genuine expression, and knowing that it's okay to be that genuine expression. And even if people react funny, allowing them to react how they need to react, and you sitting in stillness and again holding that space. This is going to be imperative training for you for the things that are going to be happening over the next couple weeks, the next couple of months, okay? Because as a whole, we're being really transitioned through a moment where we're going to begin to question reality, question the things that are happening in the world around us. And this kind of presence is a powerhouse. It is the tower of creation that we need now more than ever. Okay, so another thing is, again, being judged. We talked about that. And most importantly, rejecting the self. Okay, so one of the biggest blockages of not wanting to be in the present moment is the rejection of our own self. Where do you reject yourself? Where do you have anger towards yourself? Where do you even hate yourself? Where have you not forgiven yourself? And so being in the present moment is a process and a moment of pain and really a lot of anger that begins to come up. So this is a great opportunity for you to begin working with that, okay? And the reason why, because if you don't work with that, you become a slave to that anger, you become a slave to that denial, you become a slave to all of those emotions, the fear and the rejection of yourself that is now creating your every next moment. And that's a vibrational signature. It's a vibrational match that aligns you with things in this world that are being curated, designed, and manipulated in order to match with that frequency. Okay, please understand the things that are happening right now are a manipulation of our consciousness. It's a manipulation of our emotions in a sense, and our unawareness. So coming into awareness is essential in this moment in order to navigate in a very healthy and powerful way through the things that are happening in the world. Okay, that awareness is going to help you know, to discern what's real and what you're in control of here in the now, what's true here. What's true at any time, the highest truth is what's here in the present moment. Okay, just remember that. So very good. Now let's look at how do we make the present moment safe. So we identified all the things that keep us out of the present moment. Okay, let's take a look at that. What makes it safe? The present moment. Don't be in resistance. Okay, be in a flow. Yesterday we talked about the manifestation of feminine and masculine energies as they come through emotions and our expressions, and this would be an example of a feminine expression, right? Be in a state of flow, be in receiving, don't be in resistance. What doesn't bend breaks. So if we are in a constant resistance of fear of ourselves, of seeing our truth or seeing the truth that's happening around us by acknowledging other people that are with us, or trying to avoid other people, that's going to make the present moment very unpleasant. So how to make it safe? Be flow, which means that you're not expecting anything from others. You're not expecting to receive approval, love, acknowledgement. You're not expecting the rest of the external world to provide safety for you in this moment, to play out codependent interactions. So it really allows you to come into a very full state of empowerment. And if you're in a state of flow, you're no longer expecting the external world to provide you with everything that you need here right now. What you need here right now is yourself in the present moment. Okay, so that's what you are. That's who you are, and all of that is within you. The next would be to observe. Don't judge. Don't judge just the way you don't want to be judged by others when you are in close proximity with one another, when they see you for who you are, your good, the ugly, the bad, you know, all the aspects of yourself. You don't judge others. Don't judge other things. Don't judge what you're hearing. Don't judge what other people are saying. Just observe it, watch it, and take a moment to process fully in your body what your intuition. Allow the intuition to come in. When we judge, we are immediately assigning a vibrational imprint to the things that we're experiencing. And so it doesn't allow our intuition to come in and guide us through that and help us move through that in an organic, more genuine way, more authentic way. Okay, so try not to judge the things, just be in a state of flow. And that will help you make the present moment very safe for you. The next is create. So be in a state of creation instead of resistance. Okay, instead of reaction, pardon me. Be in a state of creation. And again, we talked about that creative energy yesterday. But if we are in a state of flow and we are thinking about creating instead of reacting, see, the reaction part of us comes from the instincts. And so the instinctual part of us is survival mode and fear, right? So fear, we need to utilize the survival mode. So we need to be able to be in a constant state of creation instead. And there's a very big difference between those two. When you're reacting to things, you're just automatically using that filing cabinet to tell you what you know, what's familiar to you, and how to respond to things. But if you stay in the present moment and you stay in a moment of stillness, you can observe the situation, and instead of reacting to it, you can then use that opportunity to create instead. That means that you are expansive. Maybe you're opening the space. Maybe the dynamic with you and your coworker or your loved one, or the person that you're living with, you're cohabiting with, is certain codependent relationship, or maybe toxic relationships, and maybe they're used to you reacting to them in a certain way because you're playing out the dynamic that only they know, right? So if you change that, if you no longer play ball in those dynamics, you're going to begin to shift the experience, and it gives you an opportunity to create, actually, instead of to fall into the same reactionary dynamic that's occurring with you and those that are around you. So this is how we come into our creator self, and we can only do that when you're in the present moment, when you're aware of yourself, and when you're fully in a state of flow, okay, and not judgment. Another thing is be compassionate of yourself, right? This is what really comes into self-love. Are you being compassionate of yourself in that moment? Are you judging yourself? Are you being hard on yourself? Are you pushing yourself into doing things that are not in alignment with you? If other people are listening to things that you don't want to hear, or you're in a toxic environment, pull yourself away from there. It's a time for you to nurture yourself, to protect,
the true self. Okay, you're not protecting old habits and fear from protection. You are becoming aware and owning yourself, which is a better word than protect, really. You are owning yourself. Okay, and the only way we can come into that is to choose love, not fear, when it comes to ourselves. So for example, when you're about to act, is it a loving act or is it coming from fear? When you're thinking something, is it coming from love or is it coming from fear? Just notice it. Just notice that. Okay, and it's a game changer. It changes completely how you interact with yourself and everything around you. Your feelings, your emotions that come up, are they coming from fear or are they coming from love? The way that you communicate with one another, is it coming from fear or is it coming from love? Again, we have to really check ourselves, right? You're checking yourself, you're not judging, you're observing and you're becoming aware of yourself. And that's what consciousness is. It's awareness, okay? And hold on. Obviously can't read my writing as usual. Okay, and then finally, fear of seeing the true self. Okay, so fear of seeing the true self. So what happens when we come into the present moment is that we're really connected with ourselves. And so it's time for us to see who we really are. And sometimes that's really hard. It's hard for us because we have built sometimes entire programs in our mind in order to preserve the identities that we hold on to with both hands and feet. And you know what we need to think about right now is why this opportunity is happening in the world around us is major shift, change, transformation. We are literally, the entire planet Earth is changing in vibrational frequency. Okay, and so who plays a role in that vibrational frequency? You do. So when you shift and you move your vibrational frequency into something that's more expansive, into that creator self, you're really playing a huge role in the new world, in the new timeline that we believe that we're creating here. What is a timeline? Timelines, every choice that you make is a potential timeline. We are constantly moving in and out of dimensions, okay? And it's basically, we're moving in and out of our own fragments, our own possibilities, our own self. We can either choose to come into health or we can choose to come into illness. We can choose to come into empowerment or we can choose to come into a victim role. Okay, and each one of those are potential timelines that will change our next possible events. So right now, what's really important is that you are aware of that power that you have and really begin to take responsibility for what you're creating. Okay, it's time for us to become aware of the responsibility of creation. And too much do we just put things on others, right? People outside of us. Oh, they're going to create. Oh, they're going to do this mass meditation. Oh, they're going to be holding vibrational love and light. Okay, but then what are you doing? What are you doing in your home? What are you doing with your relationship? What are you doing with yourself? Okay, so this is the time where taking real responsibility for your actions is important. And ask yourself, everything that you're doing, is it something that somebody that loves themselves would do? Okay, would you stay up late without resting? Would you not drink water right now when your body needs it? Would you not rest? Would you not meditate? Would you not connect with yourself? Would you not eat healthy? Okay, now what happens in the present moment? Another thing happens that we need to begin to train ourselves with, and that's with overwhelming emotions. Anytime that we begin to feel overwhelming emotions that are really hard to process and deal with, and we're in denial, I made a little, how many steps? It's a 5-step thing, very easy to help yourself disengage from overwhelming emotions, whatever that is, okay? So first of all, ask yourself why. Number 2, ask yourself, is it your emotion, or are you picking up emotions, or are you being inserted programs that don't really belong or match your reality here in the present moment? My feed is getting disconnected every few minutes. And next, like, how does it serve you to feel that emotion? You have to acknowledge the emotion that you're feeling, asking if it's true. What do you need in order to help yourself move through that emotion after you felt it, becoming aware of the programs that build up that reaction in your body? How does it serve you to feel it in that moment? Is it compassionate for me to feel this in this moment? Don't forget that emotions are biological. It's a chemical reaction that's happening in the body, okay? And so when you feel an emotion, it can be a high vibration, and that's a very constructive chemical reaction that's happening in the body. But you can also feel low emotions like fear, panic, and anxiety. So that's going to cause, you know, a lot of chemical reactions that really are moving things in your body that can cause inflammation and stress and inflammation, and then create a destructive cycle in the body for the immune system, right? So as you can see, there's two polarities here. Each one of our emotions, depending on what we choose, is going to either bring the body into health or deconstruct it, okay? So just, is it compassionate of you to feel that? Maybe you need to move yourself into a different state, okay? And you will be able to do that by understanding what's real. What's real is you, here, right now, okay? So is this something that somebody that loved themselves would do? Okay, so that's the next question that you need to ask and embody that. So I want to thank you so much for joining me for this part. I'm going to take you into a meditation where we are really practicing being in the present moment, and I'm going to guide you, and I want you to take a look at what comes up in this present moment. Are you in resistance, or are you ready to move through? Are you okay with being in the flow? We're going to train the body to be in a state of flow right now, regardless of the things that come up. Okay? And so for the next couple of days, I really want to invite you to do this every day, every moment, not just in meditation, but with your eyes wide open, taking ownership of yourself. So we're going to begin by inhaling deeply and exhaling. I want you to begin to, whatever you're doing right now, and you can even do this with your eyes open, I want you to become aware of your body, okay? You're going to connect with your toes. As a matter of fact, I want to invite you to do this with your eyes open, okay? Open your eyes. I want you to be aware of your toes, your ankles, your shins, your calves, your knees. Connect with your body, going up to the shins, the calves. With your eyes open, taking your awareness to that part of your body, going up to the knees and the thighs. Okay, going up to the hips. Pelvic bone. Inhale deeply and exhale. And while you're here, I want you to imagine that you're going to pull up a very calming energy up from the earth with your eyes open. Okay, I want you to see this. I want you to pull up an energy. It can be a gold energy that you're bringing into the body, and it's going to just really reconnect you with your body. Taking it up into the pelvic bone, into the hips, into the solar plexus. And I want you to tap into the emotions that are here in the solar plexus. Just becoming aware of what's there in your body with your eyes open. Okay. What emotions are you housing in this moment right now? Take a look at that. Okay, just observing. And if you are not noticing any emotions immediately, sit in silence, sit and connect with yourself. See if you can tap into any kind of back-end programs that might be running, okay? Go ahead and tap into that. Any subconscious thoughts or even judgments or emotions that are being created in the body. So go ahead and notice that. You're going to go up to the chest and the lungs. Go ahead and connect with your chest and your lungs with your eyes open, becoming aware of your body. I want you to see if with your eyes open you can become aware of the back of your body. Okay? Just notice what's there. up here to the shoulders, the arms, underneath the arms and the armpits, the sides of the body, the sides of the chest, going down to the elbows, becoming aware of your body with your eyes open. Okay? Not allowing anything to distract you. You have your eyes open, but your attention is inside. Okay, so this is what we want to train. You're going to go down to the arms, to the hands, becoming aware of the hands, becoming aware of the neck, the shoulder, the head, the face. Notice if your face is stressed out, is it scrunched up? Or can you release the brow, the cheekbones, the jaw, becoming aware of the face? Coming into a state of complete relaxation. Notice your eyes. You can blink your eyes, open them, move your face around to bring yourself into a state of complete awareness. Are you aware of your cheeks? Are you aware of your ears? Are you aware of what your body is doing right now? So with your eyes open. Go up to the crown of your head now with your eyes open. I want you to feel this crown. Feel the crown of your head. And with your eyes open, I want you to go ahead and tap into your source connection. What does your connection to source look like? Are you separate or are you one with source? Go ahead and take a look at that. What are you sensing there? What do you feel? Okay, becoming aware. Without the influence of any other ideas or concepts or pictures that you've seen, I want you to connect with your body. What does your body tell you? You're going to visualize now with your eyes open a pole of white light that connects you up to that source, or whatever color it looks like, whatever your cord to source looks like. I want you to become aware of it, and you're going to bring it down into the center of your head, down through the spine, all the way down through the body. Your connection to source, becoming aware of that. It's going to go down to the center core of the body, down through the perineum. Notice how it goes through the center of the body. This is the emotional center, the solar plexus. So make sure that that is nice and solid. Notice, do you feel that it's distorted there in the part of the body? With your eyes open, become aware of it. Okay? Making sure that you can really sustain that image with your eyes open. Inhale deeply and exhale. Going down the perineum, down to the center of the earth. With your eyes open, imagine it going down the layers of the earth underneath you, and it's going to begin to expand massively. Okay? And you're going to anchor yourself. You're going to anchor yourself down to the center of the earth with this pole. This is your source connection. You're anchoring yourself in your body. I want you to inhale deeply and exhale as you anchor yourself in your body. You're going to sit in this stillness for a moment with this connection to source, and I want you to notice what comes up. Okay? What feels uncomfortable in this moment? What is resisting? Notice, become aware of that. And everything that comes up, any emotions, any thoughts, I want you to breathe through it really powerfully. And you're doing this with your eyes open. You're going to inhale and exhale. If there's people around you or if there's noise around you, just reconnect with your body. You're keeping your eyes open and sit with this stillness. Allow. Don't resist. Very good. With your eyes open, becoming aware of your own space. What belongs to you? I want you to see it with your eyes open. Imagine that you can see your own energy around you, in front. Feel it. How does your energy feel? Feel it behind you. Feel it underneath you. Feel it above you. Okay? Become aware of what belongs to you. You're going to visualize that sphere around you that we always do in meditation, but you're going to do it with your eyes open. Any parts of you that feel resistance to now, to being still, any part of you that feels that you're wasting time or not in alignment, just check and see what parts of you are in resistance and be still with it. When you're still with it, you're in a state of observation, not judgment. So observe. Observe yourself. You can learn so much. Very good. You're going to focus on the root chakra. Observe it with your eyes open. Okay? Does it not want to be still? Does it want to be anxious? Put it in a state of calm. Make it calm. You're going to gently control the size of that root chakra. Make sure that it's in alignment, bringing you into the present. Breathing, inhale deeply with your eyes open. Going up to the sacral, being aware of the sacral chakra. What is it doing? Bring it into balance. Going up to the solar. Going up to the heart. What is it doing? With your eyes open, check into your heart chakra. Check into what you're feeling there. Does anything need to move out? Do we need to breathe anything out? Inhale deeply. Okay. So now you're really bringing your awareness into the present here. Your eyes are open, you're aware of your body. Become aware of your throat, the throat chakra. Bring it into balance. And so this is the awareness that you want to have all the time. Notice how solid you feel. It feels almost as if you're sitting on top of a tower of something. This is you. You're sitting on top of you. You're becoming aware of who you are and what you are. You're a powerful creator. You're going to go up to your third eye. Okay? Imagine that. Balanced. Becoming aware. And you're going to go up to your crown. Becoming aware. Activate that crown chakra. With your eyes open. Notice that the spine wants to sit up. Notice the energy that moves through your spine, through your head as you become and you activate the crown chakra. Be aware of any emotion that comes up. Notice and ask yourself, is it okay to be me? In my full expression. Is there any aspect of myself that feels shameful or guilty or rejects any aspect of myself? Ask yourself. With your eyes open. Inhale deeply. When we recognize truth, the body breathes. It is expansive. This is how you know the difference between truth and a lie. If your body becomes constrictive, tight, when you hear something, that's your body speaking to you. So you want to have this very open dialogue with your body here and now to assist you anytime you hear something. Okay, with your eyes open. Very good. And I want you to come into a state of love now, of feeling safe. Inhale deeply. Feel safe. Feel safe here and now. This is your home. You are home. Everything that is within this space is your home. It is your temple, your castle, okay? And you create from this place. You honor. This is a sacred, divine, advanced biotechnology that creates what you're going to experience. And every emotion that you feel in this body, in this present moment, in this awareness, is what is projected and what's matching you to the next experience. So with your eyes open in this moment, become aware of that. Become aware of your entire body. See how that feels. See how your toes feel about that. See how your ankles, your shins, your calves integrated into your body, into your core, into your chest, your shoulders, your head, your face. Very good. Very good. And now that you are here with me, present, fully present and in the present moment, any emotions that came up that caused you resistance, I invite you to work deeper with them, with the 5 steps that I named earlier, okay, of questioning and really acknowledging any emotions that come up, working with it, okay? And notice that right now what we're doing is we're creating a foundation for the new human. The new human is consciousness. It is awareness. It needs itself in order to be working through all of the things, all of these waves of energy that we're moving through. And so truth is you. You are truth. So whatever is here in this current space is you. So I want you to really connect with yourself. And whatever is within, whatever is coming through, if you are channeling information, if you're receiving information, honor it, acknowledge it, and don't let any external thing from outside of you define your thoughts, your belief systems. Don't let anything outside of you hijack and move you into a space that's away from what you know to be true, which is creative life force energy, okay? And the fact that you are engaging in that empowerment is what helps you come into the next step. So thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure to work with you. Thank you for taking your time to connect with me today, and all my love, as always, okay? If you guys have any questions about this, please let me know. This is going to be a really powerful week, and you know, I'm sure a lot of you are tapping into the energy. We're going to be coming into some very interesting things, so stay with it, okay? We are light workers. It's time to do the work, people. It's time to embody it. No more messing around, no more distraction. It's time to embody it. You are the new world, so get ready, okay? Deception and control and manipulation of consciousness is at its full force right now. So that means that you need to take back our power, okay? We need to take back our power big time, okay? So all my love to you, and I'll see you soon.